Hello, everybody. This is Scott Woods. I'm coming to you live from the Bat Cave in a secure location somewhere in the Midwest. Guys, let's take a look at the screen here in this little YouTube video we're preparing for you. We're going to teach you some more stuff about brokering freight. Now, I know most people, when they're thinking about brokering freight, they're thinking about, hey, where am I going to find shippers? Maybe if some of you are actually thinking a little bit ahead of the crowd, you might be wanting to learn where your equipment is or learning how to pitch shippers and the right questions to ask and how to handle situations. But let's talk about paperwork. More specifically, let's talk about getting the order and getting paid with the big guys, the Fortune 500 companies, as I refer to them, the whales. Now, everybody that gets in this industry, they think they're just going to walk right out and get a contract with Walmart, with Home Depot, with Safeway, with these Fortune 500 companies that are moving hundreds and thousands of loads each day coming to them, or going to their distribution facilities. Now, the first step in getting a contract with one of these Fortune 500 guys is not the bid process. You have to complete the vendor information packet. You have to become a vendor for them. You got to do, all the paperwork, chase, if you will, like a dog chasing its own tail. You'll be running around all kinds of places. It's a lengthy process for a lot of them. But the primary first step is how you're going to get paid, and if you are EDI compatible or EDI compliant. Now, what EDI is electronic data interchange. It's been around for about 30 years, all right? And when they came up with it originally, it was just to, negate paperwork because of all the paperwork that's involved with purchase orders and invoicing and things like that. Once computers really become a thing in the business place, we began what was called electronic data interchange. And it basically stops the process of having to do all the faxing and mailing of invoices and things like that. And what it essentially does, it speeds up you, the vendor, the freight broker or trucking company, all right, being able to get an order and get a rate confirmation, things of that nature. And it also speeds up you, the freight broker or trucking company, the ability to get paid. Traditionally, a shipper is going to pay you when you bill them out, in your contracts that you're going to have with them. Traditionally, you're going to get paid in 30 days. That's the standard industry definition of standard payment terms. Now, even some of those guys don't even pay in 30 days. They might stretch you out 45, 60 days, especially if you don't know how to collect your money. All right. Well, when you're dealing with a Fortune 500 company, they have so many goods and services moving at any given time that they pay quick. And they use this through EDI, once again, electronic data interchange. Typically, once you're set up with a company such as Walmart, Home Depot, or whomever, you'll be paid within 3 to 5 days. So it's basically that's after you submit the invoice. This business is all about turning money and turning money quickly. Your carriers want paid quick so they can have operating capital. You as a broker want paid quick so you could pay your carriers quick and you can have operating capital. So you have to do all the things necessary in order to make this right. All right. Now with EDI, there are several steps to it, but generally it involves finding an EDI partner who could process your electronic transactions, and the other is a scanning solution. And we're going to go over both of those. Okay. Now, basically, in a nutshell, this is going to, as I said, I'll use the word destroy all the paperwork. All right. A traditional document exchange of a purchase order or an invoice typically goes like this. Okay. And I've got it bullet pointed out for you down here. It typically takes between 3 and 5 days. Okay. The buyer will make a decision. The buyer is going to be your shipper. They create a purchase order and they print it. They'll mail or fax a purchase order to the supplier. The supplier then receives the purchase order and enters it into the order entry system. Then the buyer calls the supplier to determine if the purchase order has been received, and also the supplier will either mail or fax an acknowledgement of the order. That's time. All right. Time is money with everybody. All the additional paperwork, things get lost. With EDI, what happens is, it's going to occur in, a few minutes to an hour. All right. The buyer makes a decision. He creates a purchase order. He doesn't print anything. He doesn't mail anything. The EDI software will create an electronic version of the purchase order, usually a PDF file, and transmit it to the supplier, generally through an email or an e-fax. Then the order is entered into the order system or the invoice. They receive it, they print it, they go pick it up, they deliver the item or arrange for the truck, however, and then you will transmit it back to confirm receipt. All right. It's that simple. When you are a broker or a trucking company, you set up with a partner, and one of those partners you could set up with, I would suggest maybe there's a company called Everyday EDI. You could type them up on Google. All right, Everyday EDI. Now I'm going to go and just talk about real quick. One of the things that brokers will use a lot is TransFlow. And a lot of you truckers out there who are looking into setting up a brokerage or brokering your own freight, you know what TransFlow is, because other brokers have had you use this before. You set up an account with Pegasus Transtech. They're the ones who came up with TransFlow. And what will happen is when you send your rate confirmation to the trucking company, if you have an account with TransFlow, you can also send them a TransFlow cover sheet. All right. Basically, that TransFlow cover sheet will have your unique identifier on it. And when that driver delivers his product, your shipment, to the consignee, he'll get the bill signed. He'll go to the truck stop. And most truck stops, especially most TAs and Flying J's, will have TransFlow stations. All right. They will send it back to you, a copy of the bill of lading, and it will go to who you designate. So when they actually are scanning it back, it could come back to you. It could go back to your shipping partner, better known as a trading partner, and they have a copy of that bill of lading itself. It will be counted as an original bill of lading. Once you get it, all you have to do is create an invoice for the transaction, an invoice for the load, and then submit it once again through TransFlow or whoever you're going to use as your scanning partner. Everyday EDI is also a scanning partner, send this information to your trading partner who you accepted the load from, and it will be credited for payment. Generally, at that point in time, you're only going to be waiting versus 30 days. You'll generally have your money deposited within 3 to 5 business days. It's a faster way to get your money. Look, we're always wanting to get money fast as brokers or trucking companies. The quicker we get it, the less we pay in fees, whether it's to the factoring company, whether it's to a line of credit, etc. Look, if you want to do business with the big boys, the John Deeres, the Home Depots, the big guns out there, your first step is going to be, getting an EDI compatible account. You could do this with your local bank. You can do it through, basically obtaining an account with TransFlow. That'll be one of your first steps, or just use a service such as Everyday EDI, and then you can be well on your way to doing this. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a look at the rest of our YouTube videos. If you ever want to really learn how to broker freight and learn how to broker freight effectively where you can actually make money, come to the Real Freight Broker Trainers. We're America's top freight broker training program. Our website is www.freightbrokertrainer.com. www.freightbrokertrainer.com. Thank you for viewing this presentation.